Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. We are going to continue with the next example, which is example 3. Sketch y is equals to cos in bracket 1 minus 2x and then state its domain and range. So if you look very carefully here, this is y equals to cos, and inside here it's a linear. Even though this is 1 minus 2x, this is still considered as a linear. It is a linear anyway, very obviously. Okay, bx plus c. But this time the a value is 1, and then the b value is negative 2. Careful there. This is the b value, negative 2, and then the c value is 1. Okay, so look very carefully there. So now let's start with the same step, which is the first step is amplitude. The amplitude here is just modulus of 1, modulus of 1, which is 1. And then next step is the period length, which is 2 pi. We have to memorize this, 2 pi divided with its modulus of b. In this case, our b is negative 2. And so the answer is just pi. The total length of one period is just pi. And it is not necessarily start from 0, yeah? Remember that. And then the length of each x-intercept, or in other words, the critical point. The critical point. So the x-intercept lah, basically it is the x-intercept, which is just use whatever period length that you got here, just take that and then you divide it with 4. Again, why do you divide it with 4? Because there are 4 regions here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regions. So in one cycle, you have in one cycle, you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 region. Therefore, you divide it with 4. Okay, you divide it with 4 because there are 1, 2, 3, 4 region. Because pi is in one period length, isn't it? So we divide it with 4 so that we can know each of these critical point. Kita ada 4 critical point. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want to know this critical point lah. This is called as CP, critical point. So that is why we divide with 4 every time. Okay, nak mencari critical point tersebut sebab bila kita sketching graph mesti complete x-intercept tersebut lah. Okay, so now next step is the phase shift. The phase shift is just bx plus c and then equal it to 0 macam biasa. It's just equal it to 0 and then you will get x is equals to negative c over b, isn't it? Tapi kat sini saya terus sajalah 1 minus 2x. Just use your linear from this problem. 1 minus 2x is equals to 0. Therefore, your x is just equals to 1 over 2 unit. So basically, this is your answer. This is your unit shifting. The phase shifting to the right hand side. How do you know? How do I know that it's shift to the right? Because it's a positive value of x. So it's a move a little bit to the right. Dia shift ke kanan sebanyak 1/2 unit. So from there you can know it's shifting a bit in that region, in that area lah. Nanti kita akan lukiskan lebih jelas. So here goes the step 4, the interval of one cycle. So we just use the linear again. 1 minus 2x is in between the one cycle here, 0 to 2 pi, and we make negative 2x as a subject dahulu. And now we will get here negative 1. Here goes 2 pi minus 1. And then, of course, we do not like the negative sign. We want to make it positive, but the sign must be changes. Okay, the sign must be changing. So I change the sign first because I eliminate the negative value. So that is how it becomes 1 minus 2x instead. And then I make it x as a subject. I will get here 1 over 2. And here goes 1 over 2 minus pi. And then I can rearrange it back if you I have no space here, but if you would like to rearrange it back, you must know that this is the smallest. This is smallest. So therefore this is the starting part. This is the beginning. Okay, this is the beginning of the cycle. Sebab saya melukis mengikut cycle ini sahaja. So the smallest cycle, this not smallest cycle, the beginning of the cycle is 1 over 2 pi. Therefore, 1 over 2 minus pi, it's a minus here, yeah. So paling kecil dekat sini, this is the dotted line that I drew here. That I've drawn here. This is 1 minus 2 pi here. This is the smallest. The smallest, yeah. If you tekan calculator, you will get negative 2.642. It's the smallest negative number. So the highest positive number will be at the positive area, which is 1 over 2. So you can see I have two green dot here, dotted line here, isn't it? So why do I make this dotted line again? Because I want to make sure that I draw in this region only. I only draw the basic shape, the basic shape. Of course, dalam di antara dotted line ni, kita nak melukis yang basic shape sajalah. Sebab memudahkan perjalanan kita. So in this case, we know that the basic shape of the cos, positive cos is just like this. Lebih kurang macam ni lah basic shape kita. Yang penting basic shape kita betul dan yang penting dia di antara dua pintu ni. That's it. So we must know the pintu masuk dan pintu keluar dulu. After we know the door and we have that pagar, we know the basic shape of the cos and then we just draw it, done. And make sure you just draw it according to its amplitude. The amplitude is 1 and negative 1. So you write down the amplitude first. So make sure you write down the amplitude, which is positive 1 and negative 1. So yeah, careful, got negative 1 here. So basically, I think the ranker should be there first. If the ranker is there, this kind of framework, this kind of frame is there first, having the door and then having the amplitude. It will make your life much more easier to draw the basic shape inside of this region, isn't it? So here we go. Let's just draw it. So this is the maximum, the maximum graph that I can draw it. So I just draw half of it first. So this is like half of it, and this will be part of that, below part of it, and here will be the last part. So the end of the graph should be, it must be at this part. This is the end of it. The end, the pintu penutup dia adalah 1/2. So the graph should be at the end of this part, at the end of that journey. So this must be longer then. So there we go. That is my shape of the graph. Walaupun tidak sempurna, tidak apa, asalkan your shape, basic shape is almost, look fine to you, the basic shape is correct, you are happy enough. And you are ready to go to find its intercept. As I said, each of this intercept must be found. Kita kena cari dia dan kita tahu pun macam mana nak cari. It's actually just based on this length of this each x-intercept. Okay. Dia bermula daripada mana? Dia bermula daripada 1/2 tolak pi ni. Okay. It start from the smallest, isn't it? And then you plus it. You plus it with pi over 4. You tekan calculator and you will get a value of negative 0.856. And then you tambahkan lagi dengan pi over 4 again because the distance length is the same. Same thing, same value, plus again with pi over 4. You will get negative 1.071. And you plus again with pi over 4, you will get negative 0.285. And then you plus again with the pi over 4 plus again with the pi over 4, same thing all over again. And then you will get, surprisingly, you will get a half. This one, this value, you will get a half. Even though jarak saya dekat lukisan saya kat sini macam kurang menarik, tapi that is the reality is you plus it, make sure you use calculator dalam bentuk radian, and then you will get the answer. Just so that you remember, you must find each of these intercept. And tidak juga dilupakan, kita perlu mencari ini intercept di sini juga. This is y-intercept, and we must also know the intercept value, isn't it? We must know it, and then it's very easy. You just sub in the value of x is equals to 0. Just sub in this value x equals to 0. Pakai calculator, you will get cos 1. Cos 1 is actually cos, yeah, make sure it's in radian, yeah? And it will give you the value of negative 0.540. Saya ambil 3 decimal places lah. So basically, yeah, you have everything now. Even though you lukis satu cycle saja, tidak apa. Sebab apa? You dah tahu bentuk basic shape and you are fine with it. As long as it only one cycle, it's enough. You don't have to worry. You tak perlu lukis lebih dari itu. You kalau you nak lukis lebih dari itu pun boleh. Tak ada masalah. Cuma you kena make sure you pandai cari x-intercept lah. And the last part is where you need the domain. The domain is tanpa syarat, memang hujung ke hujung dia, infinity to infinity. And then the range is, of course, the maximum, the smallest is negative 1 until positive 1. And there you go. That's the domain and the range. Let's move on to the next example, which is example 4. Sketch y is equals to negative 5 cos x plus pi over 3. So basically x plus pi over 3 is your linear right now. This is your linear. You don't have to be afraid of this pi. This is just a constant. See, it's a constant, okay? Whatever value there is just a value. As long as you know dalam kurungan mestilah linear and you have no problem, that is in our syllabus. We are happy to go. So now we need to find the amplitude. So the amplitude here is modulus negative 5, therefore it's a positive 5. And then the period length is 2 pi divided with modulus b. B kita 1, therefore our period length is 2 pi. And then the length of each x-intercept is 2 pi divided. This answer is total length of our graph is 2 pi. It's not necessarily start from 0, yeah? Remember that. Graph kita tak semestinya start 0 sampai 2 pi, tidak. Bila kita rearrange, nanti dia dah lain, betul tak? So this is just the length of one cycle is 2 pi. And then when we divide it with 4 regions, sebab again ada 4 region, sebab kita nak cari setiap satu critical point kan. You want to find this point, 1, 2, 3 and 4 point there. So we divide it with 4 and therefore each length is worth of pi over 4 unit. Pi over 2 unit. Sorry about that. So, and then here goes x plus pi over 3. This is the phase shift. You make x as a subject, you will get negative pi over 3. So the phase is shifting to the left now. It's shifting to the left, so it's shifting to the left. You do not need to know so much about that. As long as you know it's shifting, it's not the shift sedikit sahajalah, which is the negative pi over 3. You don't have to worry about that. So now final step is interval of one cycle. Pakai sahaja the linear that you have here, pi over 3. X plus pi over 3 is in between 0 and 2 pi. Therefore, you make x as a subject. You will get negative pi over 3 until What is this? Until 5 pi over 3. There you go. That is your, what is this? One cycle. Inilah pintu kita. Pintu masuk dan pintu keluar. And in this case, kebetulan dia punya shifting ni sama kan nilai dia? Here goes, negative pi over 3. So this is the graph, the pintu-pintu tu that I have drawn here, the pintu masuk. You know, the first gate is negative pi over 3. And then the last gate is 5 pi over 3. So make sure you do this framework first, and then you sub in, you put in the amplitude. The amplitude is positive 5 and negative 5. So make sure you write down the amplitude. And then inside of this pintu-pintu ni, kita perlu lukis negative cos. So negative cos, lukisan dia daripada bawah sampai atas, sampai ke bawah balik. So this is the shape. And so between this between this green color dotted line here, make sure you start from this region this part, and then you end at that part also. So the graph will be in between here and here. That's it. So that is how it looks like. Nampak hodoh kan? Tapi begitulah. The basic shape untuk negative cos punya graph. So if you already get it correct, basic shape dia betul in between the one cycle, you can get full mark already. You don't have to worry about that. So basically that's it. That's my job has almost finished here. So all I did here is just make sure I draw it nicely for you guys. So this is the end of it. So I want to draw a bit nicer here. So that it looks a little bit the shape which is negative cos lah, nampak sikit negative cos tu kan. So basically we have how many critical point here? We have critical point yang ni dah cari dah lah, negative pi over 3. Yang hujung-hujung ni memang confirm dah ada lah. Cuma yang kita belum ada adalah 1, 2, 3, around that lah, around that area that we do not have yet, the intercept, and so we gotta find it. And we also know that the distance from each, I know it's not that the same, but we do know that the distance is the same. The x-intercept is pi over, the length of each x-intercept is pi over 2. So each of this distance is the length of every x-intercept is just pi over 2. So negative pi over 3 dari sini, dari awal ni, daripada starting critical point, negative pi over 3 plus, you plus with this pi over 2, you will get a value which is pi over 6. You tekan calculator, but make sure it's in radian. Okay, remember ya, calculator mesti in radian, so you will get pi over 6 there. You must try to use calculator ya. Tekan, jangan percaya bulat-bulat cakap saya ni. You must count it yourself using the calculator. And here you go. That is what I got. And then when you plus it again, 7 pi over 6 plus it with pi over 2, you will get at the end here the same value, 5 pi over 3. That's it. That is how you draw. But hang on a minute, we still got another intercept here left. We got y-intercept here that we need to find, isn't it? So y-intercept here has a value. So you sub in 0. Subkan 0 ini ke dalam function dia. This is 0. And then you tekan the calculator, you will get here a negative 2.5. Ta-da! So that's it. That is, and don't forget to label the function, and you will get full marks lah, 3 marks around here. And don't worry if you do not continuing drawing the next of the graph at the other side of the cycle. It's okay. Unless soalan minta, perlulah kita lukis. Tapi kalau soalan tidak minta, tak perlu lukis. Kita just faham. Kalau tanpa syarat, memang infinity to infinity, that is our domain. Kalau ada syarat, kita ikutlah cycle kita takat mana yang dia minta, ikut soalan. And then the range is from -5 to +5 is inclusive. Of course, it must inclusive because the graph at the minimum part here is -5 and at the top here is 5. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.